Okay, let's dive in. Imagine hitting a sort of fast forward button on your personal growth.
Mm,
What if in just 90 days, that's only about 3 months, you could genuinely become, well, someone who operates on a totally different level?
that's a powerful idea.
Yeah, we're talking about a transformation so big that your current habits, your mindset, it might all seem like a distant memory.
Right.
Think about it. Moving with more purpose, speaking with more clarity, handling pressure differently. It sounds pretty compelling, doesn't it?
It absolutely is. And what's fascinating, drawing from this Napoleon Hill speech we're looking at, is that it's not presented as this slow, gradual thing.
No.
No, it's framed as a really decisive shift. It puts a clear choice in front of you. Go all in. I said, really commit for 90 days. Or just stick.
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing what you're doing. Stay average, essentially. And it's clear this isn't about some fleeting motivational high.
Right, not just a quick boost.
Exactly. It's about intentionally building fundamental change through consistent, focused action, day in, day out.
Yeah, the source material really frames these 90 days almost like a campaign, a war, even against the limitations we've just accepted.
That's a strong metaphor.
It is. Those old habits, the excuses we all make, this is about actively taking them apart.
Mhm.
And 90 days, it might sound a bit random, but there's a logic there.
You think so?
Well, it feels like it's just long enough for consistent effort to actually, stick, to start carving new pathways in how we live daily, pathways strong enough to actually change who we are.
And what really stands out is the focus on creating the right environment. You have to eliminate distractions. Cut off the escape routes, as the speech puts
The
it.
new fruits, yeah.
It means treating these 3 months with total dedication, making follow through the default, not the exception.
I like that metaphor used, burning the old blueprint.
It's vivid, isn't it?
Totally. Severing ties with past limits and deliberately building a new way forward.
Mhm.
Specific steps, new routines, a whole different mindset.
And that ties into the idea of making a real decision.
Explain that.
It's deciding in a way where backing out just
Yeah.
isn't an option anymore. You remove the exit.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
So it's not just, I'll try.
Exactly. It's, I am doing this. The material suggests that kind of commitment, that removal of the possibility of retreat, can spark immediate deep change. Does that resonate with you?
It does. It feels psychologically powerful if you know there's no turning back. You have to move forward.
Precisely. And the speech talks about how our brains work with repetition, doing something consistently, daily, without major breaks for 90 days. That strengthens new neural pathways.
Like digging grooves in the mind.
Exactly. It's that consistent imprinting. Eventually, what felt like effort becomes automatic. It becomes part of your new identity.
We've all felt that, haven't we? The initial burst of excitement for a new goal, then it fades.
Oh, absolutely. The dreaded drop-off.
Yeah, but this source really hammers home the power of momentum and how discipline, not just motivation, which comes and goes, but discipline is the engine.
Right. Discipline keeps you moving even when you don't feel like it.
And that consistent movement driven by discipline, that's what builds momentum. It makes hard things feel, well, less hard over time, almost automatic.
And it offers a really interesting take on resistance and discomfort.
How so?
Instead of seeing them as stop signs, they're reframed as signals, signals that you're actually growing.
Like in the gym, feeling the burn means muscles are working.
Exactly that analogy. That strain leads to growth. Similarly, the mental or emotional discomfort we feel pushing past limits, that's the catalyst for development, for getting better.
So that feeling of wanting to quit, wanting to go back to what's easy, that isn't necessarily bad.
Potentially, it's a sign you're on the verge of a breakthrough. You're pushing against old boundaries.
The source calls it the price of the next version of yourself.
I like that phrasing. And the payment is made through discipline, focus, energy, day after day.
And the promise isn't just temporary improvement, it's a lasting shift. Identity, mindset, the whole package.
Which brings us neatly to this concept of the 90-day lock-in blueprint. It's built on these core daily pillars, non-negotiable pillars.
Okay, let's break those down. What's the first one?
Pillar 1 is mind. The instruction is clear. Dedicate 1 full hour every single day to actively feed your mind.
Not just scrolling or watching random stuff, I assume.
Definitely not. This is about engaging with high-quality material, books that challenge you, serious reflection on your goals and experiences, and actually writing things down, insights, plans, affirmations.
So it's active, deliberate building, not entertainment.
Precisely. The goal is to cultivate perspective, to basically download better software into your brain.
Compared to how most minds operate cluttered, reactive?
Exactly. This hour aims to make your mind a powerful tool, a
Yeah.
weapon even.
And what's the expected impact over 90 days of doing this consistently?
The idea is it goes beyond just refining thoughts. It actually starts to rewire your identity. You consistently engage with aspirational material. You start embodying those traits.
So you might actually speak differently, move differently.
Yes. Think more strategically. It's about building a stronger internal foundation.
Okay, pillar 2, that focuses on the body.
Right. A minimum of 30 minutes, though, ideally 60, of intense physical training. Daily.
Intense being the key word.
Intense. Running, lifting, boxing, hiking, climbing, even vigorous stretching. Something that gets you sweating and pushes you.
And the goal isn't just looking good.
No, the primary aim here is energy and discipline. The principle is that a weak or neglected body undermines everything else. Focus, drive, resilience.
Your physical state is foundational.
Absolutely. It supports your mental and emotional strength.
And it sounds like intentionally pushing past comfort is part of it. Daily sweat, building that tolerance for physical strain.
Exactly. Each time you push your limits physically, it reinforces your commitment mentally. It builds toughness.
So the body becomes, what was the phrase, an anchor?
An anchor and a force multiplier. It reinforces higher standards across the board.
Makes sense. Okay, pillar 3 takes us to mission.
Yes, this is about dedicating 90 minutes
Yeah.
every day. Uninterrupted deep work.
Uninterrupted is tough these days.
It is, but crucial. This time is specifically for your main craft, your calling, your big dream, whatever that core thing is for you. Zero distractions allowed.
And this consistent focus, that's what separates people who make real progress.
That's the argument. It's the compounding effect. 90 minutes a day, every day, for 90 days. That adds up to a serious amount of focused work.
What about people who say, I'm not sure what my mission is?
The advice is pretty direct. Then your mission, for now, is finding your mission.
So use that time for exploration.
Yes. Reading, journaling, experimenting, trying things out. Clarity comes through action, through that consistent effort of seeking it.
Got it. Pillar 4 sounds intriguing. Stillness.
Yes. Just 10 to 20 minutes daily, complete silence. No phone, no music, no podcasts.
Uh-oh.
Aha. Well, maybe not this one. But seriously, no external stimulation, no talking. Just focusing on your breath, being present.
That sounds hard, but necessary, maybe.
The idea is it's profoundly beneficial.
Yeah.
It lets the mind defragment, reduces stress, creates space for ideas, helps you remember what actually matters.
So it's not wasted time, it's like sharpening the saw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It combats our addiction to constant stimulation. Stillness allows for alignment, recovery, recalibrating that intense focus.
Okay. Mind, body, mission, stillness.
That brings us to a fifth element, which sounds foundational.
Pillar 5. No negotiation. This underpins everything.
No negotiation, meaning what?
Meaning unwavering commitment to these daily actions. No exceptions, no excuses, no lowering the bar because you don't feel like it.
That's tough.
It's framed as an internal contract you make with yourself on day 1. No loopholes. No escape hatch.
The source suggests failure often comes down to negotiating with ourselves.
Right.
Making little compromises.
Exactly. Those small exceptions chip away at your resolve. This pillar says, do the work, even when it's hard, boring, inconvenient. Especially then.
Because that's when the real change happens, the identity shift. That's the idea. And it doesn't mean perfection. If you miss a block, you don't just quit.
You make it up.
You make it up.
Yeah.
You refuse to abandon the core commitment. That's the key.
So if you stick to these 5 pillars consistently, what's the promised outcome?
The transformation is described as profound. A sharper mind, faster decisions, clearer vision, higher quality thoughts.
And physically?
Stronger body, more energy, tangible progress on your mission, even a change in your presence, more magnetic somehow.
And discipline becomes just who you are.
Exactly. That's the ultimate goal. Not just doing disciplined things, but being the kind of person who just does them without needing constant pep talks.
Which leads to this idea of 90-day decisions. Make the choice once, then live it.
Right. Eliminate that daily internal battle. Am I going to work out today? You decided on day 1. The answer is yes.
Makes sense. But this level of focus requires cutting things out too, doesn't it?
Inevitably. Distractions have to go. Mindless scrolling, constant news feeds, content that doesn't build you up. Gossip and drama. That energy drain. Alcohol is specifically mentioned as something that dulls clarity and hinders progress.
And the modern challenge, dopamine addiction.
Big one. Retraining your brain to find satisfaction in deep focus, not just quick hits from notifications or novelty.
Environment matters too, right? Physical and mental space.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Clean, clear, focused spaces support a focused mind. And setting boundaries is huge.
Boundaries with people.
With people, with demands on your time, protecting your energy and focus, especially from those who might not support this kind of intense commitment.
Because every time you follow through, you reinforce that new identity.
Precisely. It's not just about the external results, it's about embedding that change within you.
You know, that idea of consistent follow-through building identity is powerful. It suggests true consistency isn't just about willpower.
Right, it stems from who you believe yourself to be,
Yeah.
which ties into this technique called identity anchoring.
Anchoring. How does that work?
It's about consciously acting now as the person you want to become would act, even before you feel fully confident, even before you see big results.
Sort of fake it till you make it, but more deliberate.
Kind of, but it's deeper. The principle is behavior reinforced with identity. Act disciplined consistently, and you become disciplined.
So the focus shifts a bit. Less on the final goal, more on the daily process.
Exactly. Focus on the systems, the daily and weekly routines that automate progress. Make the actions habitual.
And tracking those systems visually, why is that emphasized?
Seeing it on paper, checking off those boxes daily, it provides tangible proof of momentum. It makes the cost of skipping a day really visible.
That visual chain of success can be motivating.
Hugely. And rituals help too. Consistent wake-up times, morning routines, evening wind-downs, they create rhythm, make discipline feel more natural, less like a fight.
And when challenges hit, you lean on that identity anchor.
Yeah, you ask, what would the future transformed version of me do right now? It guides your response.
You know, for anyone listening who finds this focus on systems and identity really useful, we actually explore more frameworks like this over on our YouTube channel. It could be a good resource if you want to dive even deeper into building these kinds of structures.
That's a great point. Finding and refining those personal systems is key. So back to the journey itself. It's not all smooth sailing, is it? The material warns about hitting walls.
Right, 3 distinct walls of resistance during the 90 days. What's the first one?
Usually hits around day 7 to 10. The honeymoon phase ends.
Ah, reality bites.
Yeah, the initial excitement fades, old habits start calling you back. That comfy couch looks really good.
What's the advice then?
Push through. Silently. Don't make a drama out of it. Recognize it's just the old self trying to pull you back. Keep executing the plan.
Okay, then comes wall number 2, around day 30.
Around then, yeah. And interestingly, this one might feel less like a struggle and more like boredom or doubt.
Even if you are making progress underneath.
Yes, the novelty wears off. You might think, is this really working? Or this is monotonous.
I can see that happening. What's the danger there?
Distraction. Jumping to something new and shiny because the current path feels boring. The key is consistency, despite the lack of excitement. Trust the process.
Keep showing up.
Keep showing up. Then comes the third wall, around day 60.
And this one sounds different.
It's described as the beginning of a real rebirth. The changes start to feel less forced, more real, more like you.
Okay, so you're starting to integrate the changes.
Exactly. And the real payoff, the solid identity shift, tends to cement itself by day 90. You don't just feel different. You have the evidence from consistent action.
But getting there involves that internal battle, right? The mind trying to negotiate its way out.
Absolutely. That's where knowing your why is critical, that deep reason you started this. It connects to Napoleon Hill's concept of definiteness of purpose.
Meaning?
An unwavering commitment to a clear, compelling goal. When you have that and you made that real decision we talked about,
Quitting isn't an option.
it's just off the table. Discipline is built by staying the course precisely when you want to escape.
Is there like a mantra or something suggested for those tough moments?
There's a simple reset phrase. I said 90, not 9.
Huh. I like that. A reminder of the commitment.
Exactly. It cuts through the urge to quit early, reminds you that pain is temporary, discomfort signals growth, resistance means you're breaking old patterns.
And pushing through builds self-respect.
Which is the absolute foundation of real confidence, not arrogance, but deep self-trust built on keeping promises to yourself.
So ultimately, this sustained effort, pushing through walls, sticking to the pillars, it literally changes who you are.
It leads to that fundamental identity shift. What started as conscious effort becomes habit, becomes automatic, becomes you.
And this connects to autosuggestion, consciously feeding your mind.
Yes. It's about consciously, repeatedly telling yourself who you are choosing to become, reinforcing that chosen identity until your subconscious accepts it as reality.
You're basically reprogramming yourself.
Exactly. from the inside out. Thoughts shape habits. Habits drive actions. Actions create outcomes. Outcomes solidify identity. It's a cycle.
So the final push, the call to action for these 90 days. It's about embracing the focus, almost disappearing.
Yeah, embrace the disappearance. Focus solely on building. The idea is, when you reemerge, the change won't need explaining.
They'll be obvious.
Undeniable. Felt in your energy, your tone, how you carry yourself. The evidence will speak for itself.
It's about becoming undeniable, not just being seen. That finality and commitment seems key.
Absolutely. That's where the power lies. So if this deep dive into these principles has struck a chord with you listening, if you felt that spark,
Don't let it fade.
right, make the commitment. Lock in for these 90 days. Make that real decision. Mark the start date. Build your system based on these pillars and cut out the noise.
Give yourself the chance to meet that next version of you.
The one that's waiting on the other side of this focused effort, it's a powerful opportunity.
It really is. So the message is clear. Go lock in. Go dark. Come back different.